Good morning, and welcome to another useless episode of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your ubiquitous and unilateral host, Voice of Doom. Hello. Alright. Got up reasonably early today and actually got out of bed. And the only reason I did that is because my friend's coming over to take me to a Buddhist meeting this morning. So I got up early to be ready so I don't have to roll out of bed when I hear his car coming up the driveway, which is my usual pattern of behavior. But I figured I've been percolating another diatribe in my head for the last few days, and it's probably not going to be very good, but I wanted to kind of keep things going since we have not much time left. Thought I'd read you a little something. I gave Max my handy dandy pocketbook of the Constitution, so now I have this textbook. Alright, page 751 in the appendices. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Alright, I'm not going to read the whole thing. That preamble is actually what a lot of activists and so-called people in this used-to-be country use as their excuse to say the Constitution says that we should give everybody everything. They use it for all kinds of reasons. It's promote the general welfare. Keyword welfare. But I was thinking about we the people, because we the people are screwed. And that's just a foregone conclusion now. There's no arguing with that. I used to get arguments. This too shall pass. We'll bounce back. Things will get back to normal. Things will get better. Things have never gotten better. The only time things got better was in the early 90s. And I don't know why they got better then, but for some reason a lot of things happened. Probably had something to do with me. And I'm serious about that. But I won't go all over the place. I want to talk about we the people now. We the people. At one time, everybody living on this North American continent, or more or less in what would become the United States, were all British. We were all subjects to the Crown of England. And whether it be by accident or design, or by pre-planning, or just chance happenings, people became enamored with the idea of actually being an independent entity. It may be because they saw England as being a little rock in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, whereas they saw the potential of an entire continent being an independent country. Now, I don't know how they convinced the common herd, the common clay, to take up arms and go against the Redcoats, which were the most sophisticated military in the world at that time. But you learn an age-old thing about war, is you're never going to win on somebody else's turf unless you blow the living crap out of them. And I mean destroy them. Every last brick is turned to rubble. But the common clay, many of them joined the army of the colonies. I don't know what they called it. I didn't do any research on this. This is just off the top ideas. The point is the people rose up and sacrificed their lives and their limbs and their fortunes to fight against the greatest army in the world, and they prevailed, okay? Now, we talk about our founding fathers as heroes. Some people don't, but they created this Constitution afterwards, and it was a mess. The whole country's been a mess ever since. But we've been a country up till now. Now the question is, do we the people actually run this joint, or do we the people just say, the government we elect represents us, so we are actually running the government? Okay. There's a lot wrong with that. Just the whole political system is rigged, and it sucks. Two parties have become one party to give us the illusion of choice. And most politicians may go in with all the great ambitions to help, that they're going to do good for their country, that they are patriots. And within 1 or 2 terms, they become greedy, money-grubbing, corrupt toadies for the elites. So that's hopeless. Now, are we going to rise up against our oppressors, as one T. Jefferson said? I don't think so. I don't see any militias doing anything. I don't see any right-wing or, I don't know what you call them, nationalistic auxiliaries of the government, of the military, rising up and saying, we the people run this show, and we don't like the way things are running, so we're going to get rid of you by hook or crook. You know, they weren't vetting people when they were going to war in Lexington and Bunker Hill. They just shot whatever was there, and they tried to take out the top people first. The officers, because then the rest would be in disarray. But let's go on about this we the people facade. Some of the we the people are actually opening up their eyes and seeing what's going on here. I've seen a lot of stuff on the old YouTube in the last few days regarding Orangey being unable to campaign because, as AOC said, he has ankle bracelets and monitors on him, so he's being held hostage in New York for this sham kangaroo court, and so he can't do anything. So what's he doing? He's campaigning in New York. He's getting thousands and thousands of people from the common clay to show up at his rallies in the Bronx. He'll go to Harlem and get thousands there. He'll go to New Jersey and get thousands there. Lining the streets. I mean, say one thing about the so-called minorities. They have enthusiasm. When they get behind something, they get behind it. And Orangey's starting to get behind. People are getting behind him. He's making great strides, which scares me because it reminds me of a year that I talked about, 1968. Whenever you see a candidate that's just running away with something and the elitists don't want it, I won't say what could happen. But I will say that I saw some eye-opening stuff by seeing other people's eyes being open. There's a video from 2 years ago or something from the last election where there was always protest against Orangey. There was protests against this and that. So there was Orangey protesters and then there were Orangey supporters. I think they were going in to see a rally. I don't know. All I know was interesting that Fox News lady, or affiliate, has her microphone, and she goes up to one of the people of color, an older gentleman, and says, what's wrong with the Trump idea, the MAGAs? He's like, oh, they're racist, they're hateful, they hate people, they want to, blah, blah, blah. So she goes, well, let's go find out. So she takes this guy over to the MAGA line waiting to get into the rally, and she goes, what do you think if this guy wants to join you? And everybody was like open arms, hugging him, saying, yeah, we're all, and he's like, well, there's not many people that look like me in this line. And it's like, well, black and white doesn't matter. If you're on our side, come on, we welcome you. They were very nice. It was like some sort of a potluck where people are greeting each other, which you'd expect from the MAGAs because they're not hateful racists. That's a canard that's been pounded into people's heads by the devils, by the Satanists that are running our so-called government. So he was like very happy, and he's like, oh, these people are kind of nice. They're very welcoming, and So she goes, let's go over to the protesters, and we'll see what happens. And the minute she came to start doing interviews with her Fox microphone, she got cussed out like crazy. I won't use the language that they were saying, but they were the left-wingers, anti-MAGA activists. That were just vile, and they're still vile with the Hamas protests. All the time they've been that way. BLM, the 2020 riots, the whole 9 yards. The left wing are hateful swine, and they should be treated as such. They should be treated like they have swine flu, and they should be. We should rid ourselves of them. But I thought it was interesting. The black guy was looking at these activists just absolutely being real, like brown shirt SS SA Nazis. And he rubbed his chin, and he looked perplexed. And suddenly I could see in his eyes that he was realizing, hey, wait a minute. I've been fed a bill of goods all my life, and a lot of people are seeing that now. Orangey goes to the Bronx, gets a big reception. Okay, Kathy, whatever the hell her name is, Hochul, these clowns coming to a rally are not going to change a thing. We got New York in the bag. We've always had New York in the bag. They will vote for us because otherwise they are not the color they say they are. So she says something real brilliant. People, you can call MAGA people clowns because not we. I don't know if I'm MAGA. Maybe I am, but you can call us clowns. I don't care. We know what you're going to call us. We're clowns. We're all white supremacist clowns. Like from It. But you call these indigenous Bronxites clowns, and they don't really care for that. And granted that Orangey may not win the state of New York, because there's many millions and millions of people there, and they're all mostly idiots, just by the fact that they're even there. But he's not campaigning to win New York with that crowd. He's campaigning to win Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, all the other swing states, Virginia, whatever they are, North Carolina. All the people of color in those states are looking at this guy winning over people. So that's what he's doing, and it's brilliant, of course, and he will probably win if there was a legitimate election, but don't see it happening. I don't think they're going to allow that, which means we need something to happen. And I've already told you what many things could happen. And last but not least, he went to the Libertarian Convention. The Republican nominee goes to the Libertarian Convention to make a speech. So I used to think that he liked being, cheered and only goes to, crowds that he knows likes them. But no, he went into the Libertarian Convention and got a mixed reaction, but he did it. So this guy's different from every other candidate we've ever seen in our lifetime. And that's why he can't be allowed to win. So we got 5.5 months before whatever happens, so we can look forward to that. And I'll leave it there. Enjoy the rest of the day, and thanks.